Hello, Oracles. Well, today the market seemed like it was holding its breath. Obviously, that was because they were busy celebrating this channel hitting 4,000 subscribers. You guys are all awesome, and that is why we are celebrating with the Hawaiian shirt today. I gotta tell you, I've had a very rough week at my job, potentially losing my job. So it was kind of rough, but seeing all the support from you guys really has turned it around. I am not ready to leave my job. I'm not at a place right now where my other sources of income can support me. So I do need the job, but getting the support from you guys, thank you. It's truly, truly appreciated. But in reality, the market was holding its breath because it's waiting for the FOMC meeting, which begins tomorrow, the 4th and the 5th. So we'll find out information tomorrow, and then on the 5th, Jerome Powell will be speaking and giving us their decisions. So the market, the last 2 days, really just kind of holding its breath. We saw a little bit of green the last 2 days, and most of that was probably because of the fact that back in March, when we got the first interest rates going up, we saw a nice rally coming afterwards. So I'm assuming the green that we saw is probably some buying in anticipation of that happening again. So I do think we may see that. There's a lot of people who also feel that way. Looks like right now we're probably going to be getting a 50 basis point hike, and then we're anticipating a 50 and even a 75 basis point hike is semi-priced into the market right now for the June FOMC meeting. So unless we get some absolutely outlandish news that comes out of this meeting, we probably could see a little bit of green to end the week. And now one thing we have seen in the past from moments like this is a head fake in one way or the other. So tomorrow, maybe we get a sell-off tomorrow with people thinking, oh, maybe there's insider information out there, somebody knows something, and it's going to be worse than expected. So there's a little bit of a sell-off going on, kind of forcing people out. And then all of a sudden it's going to turn directions on Thursday, and we're going to rally afterwards. Or we could see the opposite. We can see maybe a green day tomorrow with the same mentality. A lot of times we could see a move ahead of these things because people think that somebody knows something, and it's really just market manipulators kind of forcing the market in one direction or the other. So we could also be flat. I just like to play out all the different scenarios that could potentially happen based on what I've seen in the past. So, we'll see what really truly happens on Thursday when we get the news. I mean, heck, we saw information come in about the CPI data being super high and the market rallies. Like, hey, inflation's through the roof. We're going crazy with money and we're going to rally. Like, it doesn't really always make logical sense, which is why we just do what the market gives us, because honestly, that's all you really can do in situations like this. But I truly think at this point, it's going to be a two-part problem that we're dealing with. One is going to be the FOMC meeting the next 2 days, and the information they give us from this meeting is going to be able to tell us what their decision for the June meeting is going to be based upon the CPI data we get for both May and June. So, it's a matter of take this information, hold it in your back pocket, and then you have the if this then scenarios. So if we get high inflation, then the Fed is going to probably raise rates higher. If we get lower inflation, the Fed may go more dovish and only go with maybe a 50 or 25 basis point hike in June. So this is just the things that you look at. Look at the information that we get and think to yourself, all right, I have this one piece. If this is what happens at the next piece of information, then this is how things could turn. That's usually how I try to play things out in my head and prepare for either scenario that could potentially happen. And then, of course, there's always black swan events, which black swan events are usually very rare occurrences, which ironically we have gotten several of over the last couple of years, so they're not really that rare anymore. But we could also get the opposite, and I honestly don't know what the opposite of a black swan event is. Is it a golden goose event? I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know what the opposite of a black swan event is. But we could get that. Something like Putin is removed from power. That could be the opposite, where we skyrocket up. Inflation numbers come in super low, and then the Fed can, slam on the brakes and not raise interest rates as fast. That could be the same thing. Maybe that's a golden goose event. So, it could go both directions. Again, I don't see these. These aren't things that I put into my planning. It's sort of one of those, 1 or 2% possibility situations that are out there. So I don't base my decisions off of these. I just kind of know that it could potentially happen. And so just looking at the NASDAQ, we have been on a massive dead cat bounce for the entire course of this year. We are now at the lowest point we have been all year long, and April was the worst month in the NASDAQ since 2008. So yes, things are pulling down. Are we at the bottom? Many people think we're at the bottom. Other people still think that we're going to be crashing even further, and we haven't even seen the beginning of this crash. So, there's two different mindsets, and a lot of people who think that we are at the bottom see a very strong economy that is out there. They see the Fed potentially getting us to a soft landing, not getting a real hard recession that could really drag us down like we saw in 2008 and 2009. So those are the people who think that we are at the bottom now. Others who think that we're going to crash see that we are going to hit a recession. We are going to see a massive pullback in the stock market. We can come down significantly further, maybe even hitting 10,000 for the NASDAQ. Again, it's just different mentalities that are out there based on all the information that we have. And I thank you all in the comments, because you guys give me all of your different perspectives that really give me a well-rounded view of all the different possibilities that are out there that I can share with you guys. And again, not being a financial advisor, I just want to be able to give all of you all of the different pieces of information and scenarios that I can see so that you guys can do your own due diligence and research to figure out what is best for you and what you think is going to happen. And while I am known as Oracle Tim or the Oracle, I don't have all of the answers. What I do provide is different questions. I really provide more questions than answers. And I ask the questions that are pertinent and important because these are the ones that I want you guys to be able to learn to ask yourself to be able to make your own decisions. And it's not about having the answers. It's about asking the questions. It's about asking the right questions. If you ask the right questions, you will be able to determine what is the best scenario for you and your portfolio in the future. Ask important questions like, what happens if the Fed raises rates 50 basis points? What happens if they raise rates 75 basis points? What happens if we get a black swan event? What happens if Putin decides that he wants to invade Ukraine even further? What happens in all these different scenarios? These are the questions to ask. Learning what questions to ask is really going to give you a well-rounded position in your portfolio. Many of you have been, learning along the way. I'm still learning. You're always going to be a student of life, a student of the market. So if you're constantly asking questions to learn more, to dig deeper, you will find yourself in a much better position. And you're going to turn yourself and the stock market from a casino and into a place where you can invest your money and grow your wealth. And this is what I call Oracle wisdom. And you guys share your Oracle wisdom with me, which in turn helps us all become more wise and learn our ways in the market. So again, thank you all for everything you have done, all of the support that you have given me. You guys are the best. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to get here as fast as we did, so you guys are absolutely amazing. Let me know in the comments below. Share your Oracle wisdom. What different scenarios do you guys see playing out over the next 3 to 6 months that we can all prepare for as different options to give us a better, well-rounded view of what could potentially happen in the market? Again, thank you all so much. 4,000 subscribers. Absolutely amazing. Totally made my week. You guys are the best. And 4 happens to be my lucky number. Back when I was about 8 years old, I went to a carnival with a friend. And there was a little roulette game that I wanted to play where you could win a Hershey bar. And my friend's mom said, no, we've got to go over and get food first. So we're in line to get food, and I see this number 4, random number 4 on a fence post. Thought nothing of it. Then we went over to play the roulette game, and I didn't get in there to get to play in time, so I had to wait for the next round. And I was all anticipating, I was all excited. It's finally my turn, and I put my quarter on the number 4, and guess what number comes up? Number 4. And this guy went home with some nice chocolate. See, even back then, I was looking for some fudge, and I got it from the number 4. So that is why number 4 is my lucky number. I do have some merch on its way. My sister-in-law will be making that soon, so I will be able to share that with you guys. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Thank you for all of your support and feedback. I am also over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.